Welcome, 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 welcome. Eye drops and allergies just destroy me every summer. I don't care how much Claritin I take. I just look. It's crazy. So, all right. I need to make sure everything is hidden here. One quick second. Restart my clock. Okay, yeah, perfect. So 20. Okay, yeah, I'm like killing. I'm like always like I've been like right at the month mark for everyone, which actually that means I gotta do. Ooh. Okay. So 4, including this one, like in the next like day or two. Okay. So let's make sure everything's looking good. Okay, so I have the initials, not the full name. Let's erase this. Let's move this here. So yeah, welcome to your reading. I will email this to you because I know you said you took down your IG for the time being. So let's just make sure. Okay. Let's just make sure one thing. But while I'm doing that, you know, we got a very interesting chart. Let's go ahead and share that. And okay, now my timers are starting. Okay, so let's actually show the aspects before we do that. So let's go ahead and share the screen just for a little bit. You will see my face, do not worry. I wish I could have you like share the screen with my face in a bubble. Anyone watching this, if you have any idea of how to do that on Zoom, let me know. I haven't received any anyone knowing how to do that yet. So very interesting. Pisces moon conjunct Fomalhaut. That's the first thing I see. First thing I see, I always look for the royal stars. Your sun's not even that far from Regulus. I mean, it's in range, so a very regal kind of energy right off the bat. Not even looking at anything else. You know, there's 4 royal stars, and your sun is. I'm not gonna say it. This is really not. No, wait for it. Okay, so yeah, it's 340, so it's within a degree of Fomalhaut. You know, so we'll talk about that, but that's very, very good. I mean, it's going to create an extremely creative individual who is able, through, you know, their meditations, through their dream life, through whatever it may be, they get them in touch with, you could say, like, you know, the other side. They're able to have this like divine creativity, right? This divine, even if they're not a creator, they're able to like really, really like they have this like divine imagination, and it's very, very good. Yeah, so okay, just want to make sure that. So besides that, you know, and you see Regulus, it's probably, you know, just out of, I mean, they usually say 240, so it's like just barely like out of range. But they say the ancients say that if it's anywhere near Regulus, that it's a big deal. So, you know, Regulus, but it is Regulus sun. It's not Regulus rising, so it's not as big of importance. But don't worry about that. So Aquarius rising, Pisces moon, Leo sun. These are energies I know very, very well. So this will be a very easy, not easy, but a very a chart that is a nice break for me, because you know, sometimes I do charts that like it's always nice to do charts where you really, really understand the energies well. And you probably were you probably gravitate towards me because, you know, we do have a lot in common. So I'm just looking to see, okay, where is the midheaven? 12 Scorpio, gotcha. So it's conjunct Cupido. And okay, so now I want to make these disappear for now. All right, so first things first, you know, how does one, and is there any human in the world, any astrologer in the world who is more, you know, able to answer this than me? I don't know. Let me put my camera back on. And I'm not using my microphone because I had an error when I used my microphone last night. I did 40 minutes of a reading, like somehow my microphone muted, and I did like 40 minutes of a reading that I had to just redo before this, which is very annoying to, you know, waste 40 minutes of your time. It sucks. Really, really sucks. So I'm looking for one thing. Hold on. Okay. I just wanted to like double check that there weren't like any like special requests that you wrote me in the DMs of like, you know, some people, even though I do talk about everything overall. Yeah, I'm trying to just see. Okay, so yeah, cool. Okay, let's do it. So okay, good. Okay, very good. So okay, boom, let's go. So okay, so Pisces moon with Leo sun. I'm a Pisces sun with a Leo rising with my moon in the 5th house, Leo south node, and you know, just tons of overall Leo energy because it's on Regulus. And man, do I understand that struggle. You know, you have one part of you that wants to be this introverted mystic who wants to curl up at home. You know, your moon in the 2nd house, you know, you want to feel secure emotionally. You want to really be in the spiritual realm. You want to be that archetype of that kind of hermity mystic, you know. And I just was reading your messages, like just scrolling up, you said the Pisces moon is a gift and a curse. Yeah, it is, right? It's a double-edged sword of, especially with yours being conjunct Fomalhaut, extreme creativity, but also there can be real issues with boundaries, right? And you know, when it's Leo versus Pisces, the lion versus the fish, you know who probably usually wins, right? And this is something I can relate to on such a deep level. So, you know, like imagine scenario A, right? It doesn't even, like, I use partying as like an example because it's just like so perfect for this. It's like Friday night, you know, I don't know. And there's Pisces and there's Leo, like these two parts. The Leo part is the part that's like, come on, go out, go experience life, go have fun, go meet people. I'm extroverted. I'm Leo, you know, I'm a Leo, you know. I wanna have fun. I wanna make people laugh. I wanna laugh with people. I wanna be happy. I wanna feel alive. And then the Pisces side's like, you know, time doesn't exist. You know, I want to just meditate and get into my depths and grow spiritually. And in the 2nd house, it's like I want to form like I want to get my crystals, by the way. I've realized like a real notable difference. And I just feel, I don't know why, I never used this one before. I don't have many crystals, by the way. I'm not like a crystal person, but I do love the few I have and I use them a lot. But I wanted this one for some reason. So yeah, in essence, you know, like the Pisces archetype is just very much you know, about deep spirituality. So to have Fomalhaut, that's like a whole new thing. And you know, maybe a different astrologer would have missed out on this, right? I'm starting to put more and more into the fixed stars. Let's see if I can even just open the page right on the page of Fomalhaut. I have a feeling I'm going to find it very, very quickly. My eyes are so. Just put eye drops in, does not work at all. I don't want to put Visine in because it's like bad for your eyes. I'll just deal with it. And people, if they want to think I'm smoking, they can think that. But honestly, smoking gives me like schizophrenic like symptoms. So like, I'm not even joking. Okay, where the heck is Omaha? Where are you? Well, it has to be in stars of. Where are you? The most important stars. It's like the four most important stars are the four royal stars. So when you have your moon conjunct one of them, like moon, ascendant, midheaven, those are like the big three. Sun, yeah, it matters too, but it's like it has to be like an exact conjunction, like within like point 0.10, like 15, 0.15, like very, very, very close. So I guess they're not showing me Fomalhaut. It's just very, very weird. Let's see, 1 second. Oh, okay, I could have just looked here. I believe it is in 194. But yeah, it's just forget it. This book, I need to really go through it. But yeah, okay, to have Fomalhaut, and you know, it is at 436. You know, it's gonna give someone like a real so here's what it says. It can bring secret business causing issues, but eventually gain after many difficulties. The separation is more benefit than the application. That's kind of a weird explanation. You see, that's why I wanted my book. Okay, I'm gonna give up if I can't find it. I think I should know what constellation is. Okay, I found it. Thank God. So it's in Pisces, in the Pisces, yeah. So okay, just a really brief paragraph about in the natal chart. So if this great star is touching your chart by Chiron, then you need to be very clear and honest yourself about your motives in the pursuit of some goal. And as you start to achieve your outcome, it's imperative that personal glory does not become the main driving force. If recognition is forthcoming, it's also important that it is not manipulated for personal glorification. Another side of the star is the bittersweet madness of the poetic mind challenged to remain in the physical world. That's what I really, really sense. So the poetic mind's, you know, forced to remain in this world. The child stolen by the fairies who must reject the sweet escape from life and fight to return to the mortal world of life, death, and pain. Oof, do I feel that as a Pisces. Fomalhaut is one of the great stars in the sky. If affecting your chart, it will have a huge impact on your life. That's what I'm talking about, not that other BS. Still shout out to the internet for being awesome for astrology, but still, that was like not, yeah. So okay, with Leo, I mean, you get it. Leo 7th house, you know, there's going to be more of a pull towards relationships. A lot of your life purpose will be learned through relationships. You know, with Mercury there, you're going to have a lot of communication that takes place. There's going to be a lot of communication and learning that takes place within your partnerships, usually romantic partnerships. And yeah, like that's like a 7th house sun person. They really feel their best when, you know, when they're in relationships. And it's not to say it, but like sometimes, like I've noticed, like even my mom, she's been single forever and she has this, and it's like you know, she had, like, I don't want to get personal about my mom, but like basically like sometimes, like even in other charts, like I've noticed like it has to do with, like, it's not necessarily like you're gonna like you have a 7th house sun, you're always going to be in relationships. It's just like it can have to do with partnerships of all sorts, but also it could have to do with like learning to move away from codependency and relying too much on relationships to like be like the foundation of your happiness. So that can also be something, right? So So then, yeah, Moon in Pisces, we've said it, like it can lack boundaries. You have to really watch out for energy vampires. You are very, very empathetic, intuitive. You know all this stuff. You have this like real knowledge and intuition of what's right and what's bullshit. This bullshit means it's very high, endless compassion. Like you're so connected to the arts and to, where's your Venus at? Neptune in the 12th house, like that, and it pushes that even further, that you're like so connected, like your imagination in your dream world. And in your beautiful Venus in Libra in the 9th house, I'd be very surprised if you were an artist. If you're not an artist, you're definitely someone that sees, very right brain, that you see life through this very, very abstract lens that's probably quite unique. I would love, if you are an artist, to see your art. And art can be anything. I think of art like I consider myself an artist, and obviously I do readings and I write, but like more so I think of an artist as like a person who, I think it has more to do with the mindset. Like my idea of an artist has a lot to do with the mindset of how they see life, and kind of like how they manifest and almost create their life, right? To fit like their needs and their like that part of them that's been open, right? That so many people are locked in cages when it comes to creativity. But once yours is wide open, and for you it's like how can I manifest my all of my imagination into my life? How can I make my literal dreams come true, make them a part of my reality? Now, the double-edged sword with Pisces moon, is that, especially when younger, you're born in 86, you probably learn these lessons past Saturn return, is being the person that's so empathetic that they're allowing other people to cross their boundaries, especially like in relationships, right? Because you're going to be, Pisces moon people are very, very romantic, but sometimes there can be like a tendency to be so emotional that there can be like this like self-victimization that's happening. There can also be like a real tendency towards escapism. So it's so important for the Pisces moon. Like some of the best artists in today's world are Pisces moons. Kanye is the first one that came to my mind, but so many. And it's like, how can they find this creative outlet, this healthy escape? Because Pisces moon can choose drugs and alcohol also, so they really need to figure that out. But you do have a nice beautiful, I nearly said sexy, but it is a beautiful sextile between your Fomalhaut moon and Neptune. So that's like linking that like this like really intuitive part of you to your emotional nature. So so what do you need to be happy? What do you need to feel secure? You need peace. You need an environment where you can flourish and where that real artistic side. So you probably need lots of silence and alone time. I talk about that a lot in my content, as you probably know. You're someone that definitely needs to have freedom, and who needs to be surrounded by the types of people that have a huge impact on you. And a big lesson for anyone with a chart like yours is being able to create boundaries, because you are a peaceful human. You're not someone that likes to ruffle the feathers per se, right? Even though you do have Pluto on your midheaven, which maybe you do like to ruffle the feathers on like a big, large world level, and you have your Capricorn Mars in the 12th house, so maybe there can be some self-deprecation, so some issues with that we can talk about. You got a follow-up, I'm pretty sure, right? You did not. So if you want to get a follow-up, I will give you a $20 discount. You just have to remind me I said that, and I highly advise you to get one, because it depends, actually. Like if you know your chart well, and obviously money dictates everything, but like if you'll see, you'll know if you want one, and you'll just have to remind me that I told you about the $20 deduction. So yeah, like basically that's like I'm getting a very, very clear channel of this chart. Jupiter's close by in the 2nd house. That's almost like a financial, speaking of finances, that's like a financial guardian angel. I know many clients, people I know with Jupiter in 2nd house, It's almost like, you know, they like a perfect example from a client was like, she lost her job, but she just always knew she was fine. And then like a week later, she got offered like a job that paid like double, you know. It's like you're being like, when you're like going towards your creative purpose and your North Node, which is in, you know, in Aries. So it's like, once again, that you see how, you'll see how this connects. Like this is gonna be one of my better readings, I can tell. Like your North Node is asking you to be, it's conjunct Eris, is asking you to be a little bit selfish in this lifetime, to find your voice and to find your power. Because in past lives, there's been a tendency to be too acquiescing to the needs of other people, and you do still have that tendency in love and relationships with your, you know, although Venus in Libra is the best Libra placement possible. One quick second. Hold on. But in this life, you know, you really are pushed, you're being pushed to be like a real warrior, a warrior of truth, right? Because it's all happening in the third house. So someone who is not taking shit from anyone, and who, you know, like if people tell you like, oh, that's selfish, you're selfish, like it's so important to have the right people in your circle. But like for like it's so important for you to have the right people in your circle. But like there's gonna be times in your life, there's probably been times in your life where you felt maybe a sense of like guilt, like, and it's been difficult for you to kind of like break away and make that decision, you know. So you'll definitely be put like in karmic situations where like you have to kind of like choose to break past that people pleasing tendency of the Libra South Node, right? And once you do it the first time, it gets way easier. 1 second, give me like literally 15 seconds. One sec. Literally, I could pause this, but I'm not going to. Okay. I told you that the last 40 minutes of my reading I did for my last client were muted, which is awesome, right? It's the best thing ever. So I'm just putting this up. I want to get this up ASAP because I don't want her to have to wait, which is very Libra of me, even though I don't have any Libra, but I you know, I take my clients very seriously. I don't care, you know, about whatever people think about astrology. For me, I think there's not much more important, and you know, I want her to get that like right now. So okay, now it's uploading. Very good. Okay, so yeah. So anyways, as I was saying, that's like something like if we do have a follow-up, which God, I have to really start pushing these follow-ups more. Because for a while I was having like way too many follow-ups. That's why like I kind of like increase the price a little bit on my follow-ups, because I wanted to get a few less, because it was just like every single reading I was getting was like the reading plus the follow-up, and I would just have like way too much on my way too much. But now it's getting more normal, so yeah, maybe I'll start. I know I'm saying all this. Yeah, so, and I just looked at the clock, 22. I keep seeing 22 nonstop. It's crazy stuff. But anyways, so yeah, that's the energy with the Jupiter there, is that so there's lots of financial like and also like in terms of like your search for truth, you're definitely on a very deep spiritual journey. But like I see these like things, people, environments, like these different, like especially with Saturn in the 11th house, you know, like you know, there's these different entities, whatever they are, that are in your way, right? And you as a Leo, you know, you entertain these, but then for you it's really about following that Pisces side, right? Following that because your Pisces side has the royal star on it, right? So it's like, you know, like following that and leaning into this North Node. I'm gonna share the screen again. Like really leaning into this North Node down here, right, which represents like the mountain never climbed in past lives, like kind of what you haven't done, and then the South Node in Libra is like what you've done a lot of. I just made a post about this tonight, because like your South Node is in the same house as your South Node ruler. They're right together, so it's like a very clear indication in ninth house Libra that in past lives you've been someone who who took too much of their identity from there could be codependency issues in this life, especially with your seventh house sun. You're really trying to get it right as it relates to relationships, and to the right balance of Aries and Libra, that archetype, where Aries, too much Aries is like the person who just like does nothing with their significant other. They're like completely independent, completely alone. Or not even that, like they're not even willing to have relationships. Like they're just like screw that. Like I just want to like do my own thing. Like but Libra is like complete codependency. Like I can't survive. I can't do anything without my partner. So it's like, where can you find the middle? That's like what the karma is asking you, right? Or what your karma is asking from you. I'm so excited doing this. I love this chart. So then, Aquarius rising, right? Another energy I know very well. How does that kind of, I'll wrap back around. Don't worry. I always like kind of wrap back around to what I'm saying originally. So the Aquarius rising 2 degrees. And let's see. You have your moon. Okay, of course. The most important part of your chart is the fact that you have your moon and your sun square Saturn. So backtrack. You see here, your sun is it is opposite your moon because they're not in the same sign. I don't consider that, or like because your sun isn't in Virgo, because they're not in opposite signs. I'm not going to look at that as an opposition, and they are like 7 degrees away. I just don't. I think sun and moon, I always think of them more elementally. That's just what makes sense to me. Even though you are a cusp sun with sun Leo and Virgo, it's still, to me, it's not gonna do it. But that doesn't change the fact that they're both square this baby Saturn, especially your moon. Your sun to a lesser degree, but it is still there. So let's hit share screen and talk about that, because aspects are like really what makes each chart extremely unique. And when you have these are the most important ones by far, by a mile. In fact, yeah, it's really like we could even say like the two only real major aspects in your chart. So basically, I see that your parents were probably two very different types of people. I'm not gonna like predict whether they were divorced or not. I'm just gonna say that their overall message that you would have gotten you would have received from each of them would have been very different. They probably had quite different worldviews, and they could be very well be like happily married. But let's just say that there's that you have two different sides. If you look at psychologically, we talked about the Pisces side with the Leo side, and oftentimes that comes from our parents, right? So when we have Saturn, first of all, this means that your Saturn return was this epic time for you, right? Like it was this time where you probably felt so much weight lifted off your shoulders, and you don't even have any, and you do, and even, oh my God, and you have your Capricorn in the 12th house Mars. So up until then, oh man, I'm so pissed that you don't have a follow-up, because like literally, like I really want to know. And if you don't book a follow-up, I would really appreciate if you would like write me like a long email, where you like the writing is way better, because I can just like really like I don't know, engage. I just really appreciate that. Where you kind of like tell me like how this worked with your lived experience. Of course, the follow-up is the best idea, but if that's not possible, that would be great. But essentially, in this sense, like that would have been a time where you just felt this immense psychic, probably even physical, like you probably felt like a physical weight lift off your shoulders, or something somatic, when the Saturn return came. Not to say that the Saturn return was necessarily an easy time, but after the Saturn return, around like 31, 32, you probably really like felt like your life, like all this force that was like kind of pushed, like where there's this like push forward and this push back, like it's way more free flowing now. And you have all this work ethic that you developed, right? Saturnian people, they have their lives get way better after the Saturn return, because they learn, like they carry very heavy karma, and they overcome it. And then when the Saturn return energies pass, it's not that the square will go away. These squares that I'm going to get into in a second go away. but they become they cease to be extremely difficult on the person, right? So okay, Saturn square, so it forms a T square. Let's start with the really close one. So Saturn square Moon is very difficult for depression. So I'm gonna just say I'm gonna take a guess that you've had issues with depression or sadness, melancholy in your life, periods of that. You're such a sensitive person, such an empath. You probably and it could have come from parents as well. Saturn can reflect, can reflect the patriarchy, can reflect the father, just like some like like kind of old structure, rigidity in your life. But I get the sense that it's from both parents, but probably more from the moon, which is usually the mother. And basically, like, I get the sense that the parents were probably very strict, very cold, and not necessarily bad parents, but that you didn't get the love, because as a Pisces moon, you're so sensitive, so imaginative. And what's interesting is, like, I feel so good right now doing this reading, and I think the moon just moved into Pisces. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, it's 1 degree Pisces. It's crazy how much different I feel now than I felt like literally 3 hours ago. Like, I could probably, it's 5 a.m. I could probably do readings until 10 a.m. if I was crazy, which I am, but we'll see. You gotta take advantage of these energies. I have to take advantage of it in Pisces. So yeah, basically that's so the square basically is gonna makes even as a Pisces moon, there's this real like emotional need to have emotional nurturance and to feel safe. You want to be able to express that mystical side of you, the artistic side of you. And maybe you had parents where that just wasn't possible, where they just they just didn't understand this part. You just felt very misunderstood. And this can, could have led to issues with like maybe thinking that you're weird, thinking that something's wrong with you. And it can cause loneliness. It can cause social awkwardness and issues with being vulnerable, with like letting your emotions out. Like, literally, even as a water moon, like there can be like big time issues with like being vulnerable with someone. So that probably got a lot easier. Maybe like when you were like at your Saturn return, maybe you like found the one, or like someone very very like broke the mold of all your other relationships that you could actually really like be vulnerable with and trust. But basically, like, the more conflicted and unhappy you felt as a child, the more depression there will be, especially like during like the 20s, like teens and all that. Usually like both parents in this case like did not have like a healthy emotional connection with you, and there can be feelings like this can even like speak to like abandonment, rejection, all these things, feeling unlovable, like feeling like this real emotional distance from your parents. Whether it's real or imagined. Like I said, it could even be just because you have such a sensitive Pisces moon that it's like a very very subjective thing, right? And it's not just parents. It could be like society, teachers, anyone, like grandparents, anyone that's in authority, right? But this is the thing, like any effort made, so like if you had very empathetic parents, like even if they didn't get along with each other, like if they did really make an effort to reach out to you and like get you therapy or whatever during this critical stage when you're younger, it can really replace a lot of this like destructive behavior. And also, like, friendships and romance can give you the feeling of belonging that you really really need. Like, yeah, any kind of like human contact, like being part of like a sports team, being part of a band, being like a friend group of a club, anything can really really like help, or could have helped, or could help, whatever. So yeah, lots of isolation typically comes from this, and it can create the hermit. But what's really interesting is how this affects the Leo. But before I get into that, the Leo sun. Yeah, so this one can like make it like hard to make friends, and that just like really 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 difficult for self-esteem, which already, as you know, as a Pisces moon, there's that magic side that you've probably been discovering more and more and more and more lately. It's going to continue to blossom throughout your life, especially after you get this reading. And maybe you didn't even know about the Fomalhaut, but I imagine that hearing about that and doing your own research, FOMHAUT, FOMOHAUT. Like, just go into that star, like study as much as you can about that star. Like I literally have a tattoo of Regulus because I have it rising. So yeah. Besides that, it can, typically Saturn people are very successful in life. So many celebrities have moon square Saturn because so it doesn't inhibit creativity. It just makes it kind of locks it up the earlier stage of life. But then there's just this boom, like this opening of the Pandora's box, and you're just like, okay, let's go. And you have all this motivation, all this fire that's been pent up from all the pushbacks, and you're just ready to go. But yeah, like therapy is very, very useful for this type of thing. So now the more interesting, or not more interesting, so I think that this is why you have to get a reading from an astrologer like me, because we have to look at everything in the context of the chart. Because basically, like with the Leo part of you, this, typically the moon square is always going to be more difficult, especially since it's so much closer. But in this case, like this is just going to create lots of, like, I always call them boulders in front of your life path. Like you're trying to go forward, and then there's this boulder you have to go around, or this step back, 2 steps forward, a step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, that kind of energy, right? Self-esteem issues for sure. Like the father could have been really difficult on you, which makes you really hard on yourself, leading to like self-criticism, poor self-esteem, judging so much self-judgment, and then other people can come and like reinforce that negativity, which is so tough. But yeah, like literally, like any Saturnian person has early hard lessons that make them grow up super quickly. And everything with Saturn gets better with age. So just imagine your life is like on an upward trajectory for the rest of your life. So usually people with this are late bloomers. They're very good when it comes to to dealing with setbacks. Some people, they just never deal with setbacks, and they have this big setback and they just fucking shut down. So self-discipline, achievement, responsibility. Like Oprah is a chart I saw recently who has this, and I think she definitely didn't have everything handed to her, and she's obviously very successful. I think she was like an illegitimate child, pretty much abandoned, raped, abused. So like there's very huge difficulties, but it adds adds to the fire, to the determination, right? Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely like so many examples. Salvador Dali had this, really bad issues with his parents. His parents forced him to wear clothes of his he was named after his older brother who died as a baby, and his parents forced him to wear the clothes of his dead brother as a reminder that he would never replace his dead brother. Like, that's fucked up. And now I'm reading from notes. Jason Alexander had many hardships as younger. He said he was always scared as a kid of getting picked on or humiliated or actually beaten up by bigger kids. He turned this around by using comedy as a defense mechanism, which led to his great recognition. And then astrologer Zane Stein faced some personal trials, which led him to raise his children as a single parent. With all these extra responsibilities, he still managed to become a highly respected astrologer with many lasting achievements. So it's like only the real tough people get this. It's not for the weak. It's very, 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 very karmic. Now you throw the fact that you have usually I like to talk about the ascendant next, but like you add the fact that you have Mars in the 12th house in freaking Capricorn, which is the sign that rules Saturn. That's even more of this, right? In the 12th house Mars, that makes someone feel like their sense of personal power is somehow eroded, right? And they can experience like emotional outbursts, like out of the blue. They can have a real like loss of like life direction at times, which can go like feed. Like, I imagine you had some very, very tough periods, and probably and I highly I'm not going to get into every reading you should get, but like, you know, the current astrology reading is a really, really good one to get to understand the astrology of the now. But I only offer that to people who get the birth chart reading first, but one thing at a time. But like, yeah, I say that because I imagine like there's probably some transits that really triggered difficult times for you. Yeah. So yeah, Neptune going over your moon. I don't know how many years ago that was, but that may have like kind of kickstarted your when did Neptune enter Pisces? But that probably kickstarted your spiritual journey. 1 second, when did Neptune enter Pisces? It was 2011. Yeah, 2011. So yeah, probably around like 2012, 2013, you probably like had like a spiritual awakening. Right now, yeah, so that's probably like very, very epic. That's probably very, very like maybe confusing at first, but a time where you really, really started to get in tune with lots of these energies, and break past like self-defeating, self-defeating kind of like self-sabotaging yourself, which is what Mars in 12th house. I know many people who have this. I can think of someone with a very similar chart than yours who had it. Who he was dating one of my girlfriends, like friend that's a girl, you know, not like someone I was involved with, and like my roommate. And she would just always like just do things that were just like off, you'd always ask yourself like, what is he doing? Like what the fuck? Like what? It was just like complete self-sabotaging in a very unnecessary time and manner, right? So with that said, you know, it is with Neptune, which Neptune 12th house is it's the best place you can have Neptune. So it's pretty much a singleton in that house, which in essence, or you know, the only you know, personal planet in the 12th house, which that means that you don't have a stellium, you know, because a stellium in the 12th house can create the house of repressed energies. But basically, like I just think of it being like weak willpower when young, kind of like dialing down to the weak self-esteem. But if you're able to but it just gives more of that determination, that work ethic, you know, being able to power through it, right? Mars and Capricorn people, like they are the hardest workers. Like there's so many successful people that have this. You have no idea. It is ridiculous. If you look at the list, probably like maybe what like in terms of like success and like wanting to make it in life, especially the fact that you have Pluto on the midheaven, which is like giving you this like mega power towards like your career and, you know, in Scorpio. So it's like your external life, your mission, your dharma is like you have this little ball of energy, where you're able to just like when you really find what you're passionate about and what you're really here to do, you just go at it. Like there's nothing stopping you. It's like this, it is very scorpionic, very passionate, but like you have so much that you have to overcome. This chart's beautiful because it's like literally the complete archetype of like day and night, of like the darkness, and just light at the end of the tunnel, not the end, in the middle, you know, 1/3 mark of the tunnel, right? And like basically, yeah, like I imagine things are like I'm not saying they're perfect, but way easier now. There's always ups and downs, especially the Pisces moon, because you know Pisces moon is a water moon. You're always, I was telling my girlfriend earlier, like I was like, and not to like diss on water moons out there, I'm just saying, I was like, I'm so happy. I was listening to the rapper XXXTentacion, his like last FaceTime before he died. He's, you know, just it came up. He's a very, very intelligent, very interesting guy who was very who just like I felt like he had a similar way of thinking as me, which is kind of interesting, you know. And it was just sad watching it because I was like, man, if I could have talked to this guy one time, I could have helped. I guess he didn't kill himself; he got shot. But the point is that like I was like, man, having a water moon is just like you're feeling everything that comes up. And he had a Scorpio moon, which is more difficult. But like the fact is like water, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you're just constantly like feeling the emotional impact of whatever comes up. While like an air moon, like Aquarius moons, they can be like, oh, I'll feel that in 7 months, you know, whatever. So it's very important when you're like speaking about like dating and that area of life, that you have someone who's extremely empathetic and who is really, you feel very, very seen by that person. Very, very like they understand all the deepest parts of you. Like they're making an effort. They may be different. They, you know, opposites attract, but you know that you can count on them because you're so sensitive, right? Leo is a very sensitive sign. Not everyone knows that. It's very passionate, very fiery, but tears of the lion. I just made that expression up, but whatever. I don't think lions actually cry. But okay, back to what I was saying. With that Mars, it can become a superpower because in the 12th house, it can be channeled into like working behind the scenes. It can be channeled into being very interested in the occult and the esoteric, right? Anything spiritual will be a very large benefit. But there's yeah, the whole thing that like the loss of sense of like purpose is so prevalent with that, right? So it all goes back to that Leo Pisces thing, where it's like, how do you find that balance between these two energies that are so different, right? Also, with 12th house Mars, you got to watch out for like is it hidden enemies? One sec. I need to open my notes on Mars in the 12th house. 1 second. It's all, where is it? I'm looking for this one. Okay, here it is. So yeah, so it explains the reasons why you should put your energy into helping the people around you because they deserve your support. So yeah, once again, your chart is also very big on like being of service, right? Like when you're able to be of service, but like not to the extent that a lot of my clients have it, because you've done a lot of that. Yeah, there's also a level of like, it's time to be a little bit selfish in this lifetime, right? But like we'll get into that in a sec. So in other words, everyone should have the heart to be willing to help one another because they deserve happiness. On the other hand, maturity is seen in how you treat the people around you. Mars here, Mars in the 12th house, luck shows that everyone deserves to be respected because of the God work they do. Mostly everyone will get the appreciation they want based, okay, blah, blah, blah. So super sensitive, overexpressing emotions sometimes. Yeah, there can be lots of self-doubt, like feeling like you're not able to be assertive. You can be more of a dreamer than a doer, which is such a Pisces moon trait. Rather than taking care of your responsibilities, you like to help people tackle theirs. Another one of those traits. It makes you feel as if you are making a difference without having to risk making a mistake in your own life. Ooh, damn. So yeah, lack of confidence is one thing that can happen, but like very intuitive. It's unparalleled intuition that you have. Especially like you're like an amazing psychologist, someone that like any like people who seek advice, they should go to you, basically. Give them a shoulder to cry on. You put yourself in their shoes. You're so able to put yourself in anyone's shoes, which is amazing, and really feel like what they're feeling. And because you're so open-minded, you get along with all, and this is going to feed into the Aquarius rising. You're so open-minded, you get along with all walks of life and have a large social circle. Equally, an open-minded person will have to make satisfying conclusions on how they can handle their lives. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that's enough of that. So Aquarius, so you get it. Like Mars in 12th house, they can be their worst enemy, but when they start to learn that self-love and getting past that low self-esteem, it can become like just this real power point, especially in Capricorn. As I said, Capricorn Mars is that point of just being able to pursue your personal desires in like a very methodical manner, very just driven, strong ambitions. You can even be domineering if threatened. And I always think of it like they're able to just like Capricorn Mars people, they can just, and it's conjunct Neptune. So it's gonna also like be very creative too. And there can be some fogginess to it, but like they're able to, like, once they start something, they figure out like what they're really passionate about, they can just go over the long term. And that's also a Leo trait. It's fixed, it's fixed sun, fixed fire, Leo. So they can also do that once they really find what makes them tick inside, rules the heart. So yeah, Ascendant. Let's share the chart. Share the chart one more time. So you know, Ascendant in Aquarius, how does this complement what we said? Basically, like, one second. Hold on. Yeah, so one second. Okay, so basically, yeah, having that energy, right? You are someone who beats to the beat of your own drum, right? And you're not someone who you're someone who's very non-traditional, right? Which goes along with the rest of your chart perfectly. And you're someone who might have an appearance that like has purple hair, orange, you know, like colored hair. And yeah, like, you know, you definitely like it's just, yeah, it's all about like beating to the beat of your own drum. That's literally it. In one quick second, I need to just look one thing up. Hold on. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, it makes your chart ruler Uranus, which is the 11th house, which is you know, basically saying that like you're meant to find your tribe, which can be very difficult because your Saturn there would make it so like you're very, very selective with your group of people and who you let in. And it can make it so like you don't find your tribe of people, like your real soul tribe, till after the Saturn returns. So maybe you've like really just started to kind of like resonate with like different types of people. Also, if we do end up speaking, I might have an offer for you. But yeah, besides that, you have to remind me of that. But besides that, yeah, Uranus there, it's going to make you like kind of want like the more quirky types of people. And you know, like you're really going to want to have you'll be very humanitarian, and you'll really want to have connections that are based off of like having shared ideals, right? It's like being parts of like a group of people where you know, everyone is kind of like on the same path, on the not the same path, but like has the same ideas of like what's important, like from a humanitarian perspective. And it just makes you like very social. Having Aquarius rising, you're gonna like express your individuality in a very unconventional way. And you know, you'll probably be quite rebellious. Yeah, so that's kind of how that. So what does that complement? Well, it's the opposite sign of Leo. So it's the same energy but opposite. So both of those energies, Leo and Aquarius, you know, they're about me. So as you see karmically, and I'm gonna, one sec. I just want to leave the chart open for a little bit longer because you know, you can see a lot. Like here's the rising, here's the sun, and then you have Mercury here. So it's like you're seeing that with the North Node in Aries, right, which is like literally saying in this life, in the third house, like you need to find your voice, you need to find that throat, open that throat chakra, and then open that third chakra. So throat and third, right, is what really needs to be open. Like your crown is open, your third eye is open, right, but your throat being able to speak your truth, which, you know, if you throw the heart chakra in there, I'm sure it's very, very open, but being able to connect the furthest, you know, the furthest road is from the heart to the throat. And trust me, I'm saying this, I'm not in no way do I think I'm perfect in this at all. I just want to throw that in there just for anyone who might be watching this. I'm not very good when it comes to like vulnerability. I mean, I can do it, but man, yeah, I'm just like being very, very honest, because I don't want to be the guy who's like preaching and then like, you know, like acting like he's got all this stuff figured out in his own life. Like, no, I can tell you this stuff, but I'm also not good when it comes to, I'm not saying you're not good, but when it comes to vulnerability, but I'm definitely not good. I'm okay. I've gotten way better. But anyways, yeah, so the chart's asking you to be like way more like in connection with those chakras. So make what you will with that. And after that, you know, we just the fact that you have you know, Uranus is a ruling planet, 11th house, like it's going to make it so there's going to be this real, and I will go and not share. So it's going to make it so you will like really, yeah, you'll really be pulled towards people who are kind of just different, you know, like different walks of life, and who just you know, like who you connect with on a spiritual level. That's so important. And you're very, very picky and choosy when it comes to your friends. Also so speaking a little bit more about relationships, the fact that you have Saturn conjunct Juno, that will make you also very, very picky when it comes to your lover, right? But you're gonna want a lover who broadens your horizons, someone who you know, at the same time can feed you, like who can make you feel secure, right? That's the most important. Someone who can make you feel emotionally secure, like the Pisces moon, right? It's your inner environment. Someone who doesn't like because your inner environment is this dream world, this beautiful imagination, like higher realm Neptunian world where anything is possible. So the worst combination for you would be the kind of person that doesn't think that everything is possible, who doesn't have a dreamy artistic mind. Like you need that. You need to feel boundless, like you can express yourself fully 100% all the time and so comfortable. And you probably love cats. I imagine with your chart that you love these perfect beings. So yeah, and cats are your chart's like made for cats. But yeah, dogs are also awesome. It's shout out to dogs, you know. But yeah, so basically, yeah, North Node there, you know, conjunct Aries, like you're really meant to make some explosions in this life. Some real like independent, like Aries is like the sign that does it first, like being a pioneer. And maybe it's like being a pioneer in your career, right? And the fact that, you know, your midheaven is in Scorpio, it could indicate something along the lines of like, you know, like some real meaning, like you really like having a destiny where in your outer world, your dharma, where you're meant to like really deepen yourself spiritually, but also really like probe deep into something you're interested in, like whether it's like some kind of research, whatever, right? And I'm pulling one thing up. Okay, so you have Alphecca conjunct your midheaven. Let's see if there's anything about that. It's a Venus and Mercury. So it's one of the 15 Bohemian stars. It's the image of a hen or crowned man. It gives chastity and the love and goodwill of men. Rules topaz, rosemary, trefoil, and ivy. It gives honor, dignity, and artistic ability. So once again, like this, so this could speak to like a career in the arts, like a literal career in the arts. So life spent in a variety of pleasurable pursuits by an individual who decked his body with adornments, secretly engaged in love affairs or adultery, and who betted. Okay, it's not setting. So Okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, lots of artistic talents that can be like, you might be an artist, which I see all of your chart. You should be an artist. And by should, I mean like you have so much potential. Moving forward, you have to really watch out for a tendency to be playing the victim, and being so sensitive, Black and Lilith in Cancer, like when you get hurt, to like learn to trust again, basically, because it can be very hard with like, and also not use your like increased like emotional and intuitive intelligence like to your advantage, like in a way that's like messed up. Like where you're like kind of like manipulating people, because that's like kind of what I think about when I see Black and Lilith in Cancer. But I also just really think of like someone who like is very sensitive, and like can have a lot of trouble opening up, especially when they finally do open up and they get hurt. If that happens, it can be like nearly impossible for them to like not impossible. They need to, like very hard for them to like reopen up. Okay, so filling in the blanks here. Well, okay, so we didn't really talk about the ninth house, the fact that you have Venus there. You could be very attracted to travel and to people, and even like to love interest. I was talking about love, so it's back to love. Like you might really love people from other cultures. You might marry someone from a different culture than yours. Highly likely with ninth house Venus and Libra. Venus and Libra is a beautiful placement, especially for like being a creator and being able to like do whatever it is, singing, painting, whatever. That's just a beautiful placement. And is it 12 degrees Libra? Let's take a look here. But basically, like you're able to see the beauty in others, which is obviously amazing. And so Algorab is conjunct. I don't know if that one's going to have anything. 1 second. No, so there's nothing there. But yeah, so basically where was that? Where did your chart go? Okay. So yeah, it gives you this real ability to see the beauty in your partner, which I know sounds like some people, they just can't do it. And it makes you really want to have like this fairness, this balance, this real it's also very good for finances, gives lots of luck when it comes to finances. And just beauty in general. It's just very good for beauty and attractiveness, and like having this very amazing aura that attracts people, and also physical beauty. So yeah, very cool. And definitely like the thing with other cultures, South Node, ninth house, just like, yeah, in this life, like, really a quest to understand like the interactions between people, and leaving behind like your varied belief system of past lives, and finding like a very viable form of like getting really dialed in with, like I said, with your throat chakra communication. And like with the Aries, it's about like, yeah, like I said, becoming assertive and self-empowered. There's a tendency to be indecisive. That's another thing about your Venus and Libra. Like there can be some indecisiveness and people pleasing, and yeah, always considering the needs of others first. You need to discover a sense of your own identity and initiate your own projects. That's like the karma was asking you for. Okay, so Jupiter, like I said before, in the second house, is in a beautiful position in Pisces. That's just going to make Jupiter makes everything bigger. So you know what Pisces is all about. It's about spirituality. It's about compassion. It's about God and oneness. So it's just going to make that bigger. It's going to make you on this intuitive search for truth. Someone who is the champion of the underdog, a person that's like really like so compassionate that they want to just do great things for other people and help out like the people that need it the most. And it can create someone who's like a spiritual teacher / spiritual leader. Like it's a beautiful placement. Like I love Jupiter in Pisces people. I mean, I have many friends with it. I find it to be an amazing, so open-minded, so spiritual. And is there any asteroids? I don't think so. No. And then 147 and 204. Okay, so you have Altair rising. So your rising sign is conjunct Altair, which can give lots of like hardiness, courage, and generosity. So that's yeah, it can be a very bold, confident, ambitious, liberal nature. Good for wealth too. So yeah. Also have to watch out for danger from reptiles. Okay. Moving forward, talk about that. So yeah, Neptune in the 12th house, like I said, you know, you can feel very overwhelmed by the undercurrents of the world, but you really want to like escape through like this healthy form of daydreaming and fantasies. And it's just like I don't have to say it. It is like literally like to add that to your Pisces moon, the fact that they're in a sextile, you are like 10 out of 10 imagination and intuition, like and I would dream journal. I would really try to like definitely do something with your creativity. And even if you haven't, it's like you have you like if you like some people I tell like all the like this is like one of the more creative charts I've seen ever. And sometimes people are like shocked, like, yeah, I know. They're like, yeah, I know, but like I just never got into anything, but like I have this great appreciation for the arts. So that's like sometimes that's like a for sure thing. And with that said, you know, fifth house, Chiron in Gemini, that's literally says what I said before, where there's issues with you in finding your own voice. And that part of you that is able to speak freely. You have any air, you have Venus is air, you have fire. Yes, you have every element. But you know, even though you have, you know, this Mercury in Leo, which is creates someone that's very bold with their with their assertions and what they say, their communication, they just let it out. They just boom, Leo. Like I'm very proud of. They can be quite stubborn with their knowledge. You know, there's still this part of you that might doubt yourself when it comes to really freely letting that throat chakra energy out. So it comes down to the Saturn, you know, because Saturn is also, you know, it's also squaring your Mercury, which I didn't really talk about because it didn't show up in my grid, but it is also squaring your Mercury. So that creates the same energy of the square of the sun and the moon, but to your faculty of communication and speech. So you can really feel like maybe at a young age you received the kind of like you know, message, unconscious message that you weren't smart or that you weren't interesting or that, you know, that you shouldn't talk for whatever reason. It's very sad. And the Chiron in the fifth house in Gemini is basically saying you go through this healing journey and then you're able to like through your own creative journey, you find your throat chakra and you figure out how to open that and how to speak your authentic truth, whether it's through like writing poetry or filming yourself. Like people that have lots of like this like Pisces Neptune energy, they do very well by like you know, I'm a Pisces. I make videos, right? I'm a video creator. That helped me a lot with my confidence. But that wasn't the point of it. But like the whole thing is, what I'm trying to say is that you can benefit tremendously from like doing like affirmations, talking from the mirror, talking from the camera, and blah blah blah. 1 second. Hold on. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So, okay. So you got a lot of them, and then also your sun is also trine Neptune. Come on, does it get more creative? No, it doesn't. And I don't want your Venus. Yeah, don't feel pressure. Like, you know, it's just what the stars are saying. Venus square Mars, that can make like lots of like tension between like in relationships of like what you want and what you need. You know, like a part of you wants that real a part of you wants that real assertiveness, like climbing the top of the mountain, like going to the top, while the other part just wants this like really chill, calm relationship. Okay, I forgot to like really dial down the relationship part. So yeah, I said this part about the moon, how important it is to have the person that like is your rock, is your, which so many of my clients I end up saying like they need the rock, right? But anyone that's a creative artistic person, they need someone they can count on. They need someone that you know, at the same time, like, yeah, you can't have like a boring person who like like you don't have to be with like someone who's as creative as you, just someone who you know, it's, I used to think that like relationships, the two people have to be like way more similar than they do. No, they can be completely different, you know, and appreciate each other's differences. They just have to understand each other, and that's be good communication. And that's what the Libra is asking. Libra Venus is asking for that good communication. And the Leo is asking for, you know, it's you know, you got to be able to speak within your relationships in the 7th house, and to have these like passionate conversations. You might, you know, require a lot of attention, especially if like some of the parent stuff is the way that I think it might be. You might have it, there can be like a tendency of creating drama you have to watch out for. So yeah, I see at 12, what's the descendant at? It's at 2 and 12. Okay, so 2, nothing, 12, nothing. Okay. So then also very interesting, you have, which one's the closest? 2702. So your sun's close to Regulus, but it's closest to these other fixed stars. Let's see if there's any of them that are like speaking about anything important. 1 second. Which one's the closest? So this is at 2717. This one's at 2734, and this one's at 2754, and you are at 2702. So it would be Adafira at 2734. So it's very close. Oh no, it would be Alphard. And okay, yeah. So fixed star Alphard. But also I want to say you have Hydra, which not many know about this, but I made a post a while ago. I learned from my Babylonian astrology teacher, which I'm starting to learn, that you actually have your sun conjunct, like you could be in a, like this is like the asteroid of astrologers, Hydra. I have it rising too, right? Because your sun is my rising, or very close to it. So that's one thing to know. But also Alphard, I don't know anything about this. So I'm just learning for the first time. Let's see what it says. So yeah, it says power and authority, but suffering through own acts and from enemies, loss of possession and honor, overcoming enemies. These are sometimes very weird, like very old descriptions, but Saturn Venus. Okay, so it gives wisdom, musical and artistic. There you go. Artistic appreciation, knowledge of human nature, strong passions. Okay, so we get it. So once again, like we're seeing more of this like spiritual energy, and it's like this artistic energy. And then Adafira, that one I like more. Like, so it can, okay, so let's see what this one says. Causes a disturbance in the personality by distorting their ability to give and receive love, great ambition, and they see everything as a challenge, something that they must subdue and control. The challenge extends for their love affairs, their work, everything. They cannot work for others for very long, as these people would want them out of their way so they could take over. It's very entrepreneurial. There's no health problem connected with this degree. However, as they get old and are not in a position to challenge anyone, they can go into depression. Since they can no longer be manipulative, they begin to feel useless and become depressive. Bill Clinton has this. Yeah, but take that with a grain of salt. And I just told you two that those are not major stars. Okay, so kind of wrapping up, you know, Pluto, I talked about in the 10th house, like you're here to be like a mega, like powerful leader in your chosen career. You know, you're trying to make your mark on the world in the realm of career. And You know, it's just a very, very strong, like I know he's literally like, I just saying Vladimir, the president of Russia, I want to say his name on this platform. He has just one example of someone that has Pluto conjunct midheaven. People who are like meant to make their mark on the world in some way. Not always good. But yeah, like to finish up, like I know I've been back and forth, like the whole love stuff. You know, you'll want something so that has the moon part. You know, the moon Pisces, that part of you. I've understood. I explained that well. But then also, you know, someone with the Juno, right? So also where there's that fairness. So definitely peace is a huge component. Peace and fairness and stability. But then also stability. But also, you know, Juno in Sagittarius conjunct Saturn. There has to be staying power, which we've already talked about. So something that's very serious, where there's like a spirit, like probably a spiritual union. But also in Juno is like your ideal mate in Sag, someone who probably from a different culture, honestly, someone who expands your worldview. Yeah, maybe you guys have like similar like humanitarian interests. Maybe you guys are parts of similar groups or have a similar ambition, something like that. So yeah, besides that, let's see if I missed anything. Nope. More creative energy with the you know, the Mercury and Venus. What are some keywords? Mercury and Venus. Oops. Cheerful, lighthearted, artistic. Leans towards literary and creative pursuits. And then also with Uranus, I literally just figured out I had this in this book. Cleverness, originality. I need to actually send a photo of it to my friend who gave it to me. So cleverness, originality, independent mind, self-reliant nature. Hold on. Okay, so very cool. And then did I miss anything? Moon, you know, trining Pluto in that good aspects. Changes in native's life are common, strong emotions, shrewd business ability. Neptune, powerful imagination, interested in the occult. Native has strong need to create in an artistic way. And we said Mercury and Uranus. Sorry, I just said that right. Yeah. Sun and Neptune, it's gonna be more of the same imagination stuff. Good imagination, artistic potential, creative self-expression. And yeah, it's pretty much let's see the nodes before we go. And then Mars, okay, nothing there. Yeah. So okay, the nodes, any squares, nope. Okay, a trine with the sun. So yeah, that's like and then a trine with Uranus and like a Chiron. So yeah, you're bringing over lots of healing power from past lives, potentially in past lives. You know, you were someone who's very original, someone who's, you know, you might have like lots of karmic friendships from past lives in this lifetime. But yeah, overall, you get the point. It's about you know, it's about being selfish in a healthy way and finding that power, finding that true Aries energy within you. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know about a follow-up. I felt extremely good about this reading. That was like a very, very fun and good experience. Oh, I forgot the vertex and part of fortune. So part of fortune is conjunct Mercury. So that's actually like speaking about how, like, once you find your flow in communication, it can be a very, very strong point, and that you'll feel very, very good. You like joy, lots of joy and flow will come in your life when you're in very good relationships, like when you found like that right union. And also giving to others is really like key to your self-fulfillment and happiness. And yeah, living as a shining example to others is also very, very good for bringing you fulfillment. And you'll feel joy whenever you achieve like power and honor. You really need to avoid distractions, which I said at the very start of the reading. And then yeah, vertex, you know, in the 8th house, you'll go through lots of like very intense like death, rebirth, and transformations within relationships. You'll have energy like you're kind of second. It's almost like you're ascendant in relationships. It's a vertex. That's how I look at it. And you'll come off as very like self-assured, very responsible, very like willing to do things for the individual, willing to go the extra mile. very responsible, very loyal. So yeah, and you'll learn a lot through like very intense situations. So I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah. So hope you enjoyed. I felt very good about this. Love doing this video. It was a pleasure. And I will wait for your response if you want to do a follow-up. If not, I would really appreciate if you would write me something. My email is jesseinnocent, RO, like Romania, @gmail.com. You can even, yeah, I was gonna say write me a review. I literally never ask reviews, so just like have like very few. But no, like I really care more about just like hearing about like your reflection. But I think you know, obviously the follow-up for the 1000th time would be the best, but not everything's possible. Okay, thank you so much. Hope that you enjoyed this. Hope this was what you wanted. I felt very good. Thank you for being patient. I think this is exactly a month wait. So yeah, all right. Ciao, ciao.